Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Friday, August 27. And today we're just going to focus on the bearish count, because if we were looking at the bullish count, we'd want this number here, the 50, to become the support, or we would want a nice setup here. We will have a 1 minute or 30-second look at the bullish side, but just in this little top area through here, so you will know at what point we would be bullish and how that would play out. Now on this chart here, we've got, this is the angle of the A wave. So if, let's just assume for the moment that the market is going to come down, if it's going to come down in a wave C, it's going to be on more of an angle than wave A or equal to it. If it's going to be a third wave, it's going to come down sharper than wave A. You know, we're going to get this sort of strong move coming down through here in that regard. Also too, just looking at the volume here that we've looked at before, this move up through this move up to the 50 has been moving up on lower volume on the weekly volume. Of course, we've still got this week to play out, but we're not seeing increasing volume there, so that's kind of important. So it just goes to show that, sure, I mean, it could still be bullish, but it just goes to show that there's no volume moving in there just yet, and everybody's a little bit edgy. Everybody's looking at that 50,000, that number 5, which is 5 is the second strongest number in the market. So we expect that, and obviously there's history here as well. And also to the 50-60% retracement level. So we've got to move up here in 5 waves for a C wave here of B on lower volume, and we're starting to see a move come down through here. So we need to understand that move and at what point that you know, things would change. And also too, we've been looking at a particular level, which was the 46,500, which is the lower end of minor group 2. If that's breached, that would trigger more downside at that particular point in time. So let's cruise in a little further here and just count this to the upside as wave A, B and C here, and diminishing ranges as the market moves higher through here. Yes, one could argue that that's a building process of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and that is right. However, the volume doesn't support that. However, anything is possible, so we still need to build a case. So this level here, the 46,500, that is the lower end of group 2 that we can see the market sitting on. We noted that particular level before the market got there for 2 reasons, being the trading level and also the 61.8% retracement level from that low to that high. So it is possible that we've had this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we could also have this as 1 and 2 as well. And in that case, we would have this as an A and a B and a C wave here. But it's just that the C wave moved down really quite swiftly, so that was a little bit of an issue. So let's move in a little further to understand this. I don't know if the 2 hours going, okay, yeah, 2 hours going to be useful. So today we're just, still can't confirm that we're actually bearish, but we're looking at the bearish count because we're below the 5,000. If we were above the 5,000, I would be looking more so at bullish counts and trade setups on that side. But on this side, I want to be looking at, you know, the short side of the market. So on the bullish side, from this low here, if we looked at this move up here as green wave 1 here, then we could look at this here as the A wave, the B wave and the C wave here for wave 2. I mean, that's a fair and just statement, you know, but we also have to say that, well, that's our this is all of minor group 2 here. So with the trading levels from say 40,000 to 50,000, that's a medium level to a major level. And then we got the Fibonacci sequence of numbers going 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8 here. And that's really, then you go by the power of 10 after that. So you go 10, 20, 30, then 100, 200, 300, 500, that kind of thing. But really, it's just 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. But with 8, we put in group 2 here. 60, I won't go into that, but 65, sorry, 46, I'll call it a 65 number, but 46,500 in this case, and then 72 here for 4,720. and of course number 8 here, which is the third strongest number in the market. So and you can see that the 72 is important, you can see that the 8 is important, you can see the 65 is important. There's a history of that as well. Unusual numbers, but they work quite well. So on the downside here, we can say, well, on the bullish side as an A and a B and a C, that would be the low. So we've got 5 waves down here. So we could say that a breach of that area here, which we've maintained all week, would be the trigger for further downside. So we'd want to see this become, well, at the beginning of the week, it was we wanted to see it become the retested resistance at that point, and that could be simple like this. If that's the level there, the market comes down, bounces, goes through, and then, but it's all about moving past that reference point first low here. It may drop back up above the level here as well and get a little bit more complicated, but keep your eye on the price, because it's always the lows, the previous lows that you're looking at. So on the bearish side of things, we've got 5 waves down through here as wave 1, back to wave 2, very close to the 61.8%, and then the move down through here was quite swift. It's more like the price action of a third wave, but we're just labeling it wave 1 because it's too short. And then the wave 2 to come back for that would be close to the 48,000 at that point. So we could also say on the bullish side, if this was an A and a B and a C, then we could also go long from that point there. That's taking the next logical step. Okay, so that's our range where we can work from if you need to make, clear decisions. Of course, you could get closer to the market to short. You could get closer to the market to go long, such as a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 48,000. Let's go to the, before we go here, let's just have a look at Ethereum as well. So this is a 1 hour chart, so it's a bit more bulky. I need to clean this up a little bit. So we've been counting 5 waves down for wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2. So I'll need to move, probably need to move that over there. I'll need to adjust that height there for that, but that's something that you can do as well there, from that low to that high. That's our 50-60% area. It may go higher, might go to the 3.2 and test that, or the 78.6, the square root of 61.8%, all of that. Really what we're looking for is an ABC correction in that space. I'm not going to go in there, but all I want to point out here is that you can probably short here or look for the 31 area to be the retested resistance. I was looking at how to short these markets, because they've got, I'm with Binance, not to say that they're, any better than anybody else or worse or anything like that. Expensive, yes. To convert 1 Bitcoin back to Australian, to fiat, an Australian dollar, it's like nearly close to $600, I mean, where they get off on that. And then they've also, the other thing, it's a bit sort of weird in Australia, because if we use CFDs to short the markets over here, you have to put a 50% deposit on to get hold of a contract. So naturally you would go to the CME futures contracts. So I tried to do that on Binance, but they're blocking Australians for doing that. They've got another product in there called, what was it called? Up, down, or down, a product called down, and the opposite to that product called up. But do not go near those products. I haven't got the time to explain it, but they've got a daily management fee, they've got a daily financing fee, and the way that they've set the long and the short side up is that they're just chewing your capital like every second of the go. That guy CZ is just ripping it, man. He made $1 billion in 2019. I don't know what they made these years with more leverage and more people coming on. Like, I mean, it's like bucket shop extraordinaire. So I need to, anyway, I shouldn't bag them like that. But yeah, I mean, I just don't like people that steal from poor people, because that's basically what they're doing, you know. Anyway, don't get emotional about that. Let's move on to this. So back to Bitcoin here. We've got possibly, like, I can't confirm it, taking the low out there would help confirm it. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 and so on. So let's move to the tick chart to look at this 100 ticks. We'll have to bring in some more data. Will 20 be enough? That will be fine. So let's just, I'm also going to go to, we've been working on the tick chart as well, the 10 tick as well. So, but just to sort of go over this, and you can put wave 1 here, you could put wave 1 here. I thought it was better there, but anyway, 3 here with an A and a B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this 4, and down for the 5. So I don't really see a problem with that here. Then we've got wave 2 that pulled back roughly to the 50-60% sort of area here at the 61.8%. You can't sort of argue about that at all, can you? You know, roughly speaking. So that's all pretty spot on at that point. And then what we're looking for here, we've got a nice impulse wave down into this space. So now we can look at coming back here for this, taking that low in there, looking at the 61.8% and the 50%. I'll just draw that a little bit wider in case it sort of takes its time. It may or may not reach that. It looks like it needs to reach that. So I want to go, so yeah, so basically somewhere up to here and then move down at that point. Like I said, if it takes this top out here, then we're bullish at that particular point. So just to let folks know what I've done with my position. So I've been converting my Bitcoin through this into THETA, into USDT. So I'm just sort of standing aside. And if the 50 becomes support and I see a nice setup, then I'm just going to move back in. But I don't want to be, I mean, the market could go up or it could go down. So I'm just really looking for a support on 50 and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll move back in, because otherwise there's risk of further downside. Can I prove that there's further downside? Well, of course not. The only thing I can do is say to myself that if that 46,500 becomes the reason, you know, drops through that, then we've definitely got a bigger move to the downside. How far it goes down? I mean, does it go to, you know, does it go down to 40? Does it go down to 20? Does it just continue going down? I have no idea, really. So all I can do is work with the structures and keep breaking the problem down and finding solutions. So we're going to cruise in here a little bit further. We're on 100 ticks. We're going to go to 10 ticks just to understand this. So we've got wave 1 here, and we've got wave 2 over here, and that's our 50-60% retracement level. Okay. So from the low here, we've got an impulse wave up through here, so we could call that wave A, and then an A and a B wave in here, and a C wave here. You could probably count that a bit differently, but an A and a B, and then building to the upside over here. So I was thinking 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here, and this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it's probably the third wave here, unless this is in some other way coming through here in some sort of triangle-y thing, you know what I mean, for like a wave B, and this wave B comes over here for this. And if that's the case, then we just look at 5 waves, A, B, C, D, E to this point here for that one, and then this is just 1 and 2, and then we get the 5 waves up there that I mean, I can see that we've got 5 waves in here. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So that's, let me see that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Let me just put that in there. That can be to there. That can be to there. That can be 3. This can be 4. We're kind of overlapping here, and we're also seeing this overlapping with this one. We're also seeing it kind of impulsive down here as well. But let's just say that this finishes off here. What we'd be looking for would be wave 3. So we can bring that down a bit further now because that's not going to occur up there. And then wave 4 here, and then wave 5. So that's what we'd be looking for to the upside if that count is correct. I could easily be wrong here because I don't know. This does not look like it's in 5 waves. It looks like it's in 3. So it looks like an A, B, C, D. The other way around, actually. Yeah, but still the B wave here. So anyway, yeah, just split hairs, but just thought I'd show you that. And yeah, it's all about this 65. Let's just configure this a little bit. So we've got it here, 46,500. That's the number. But I could probably also say to you as well that any breach below this point here would also be a short trade at that point as well. Because if that's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 there, we can't have that breached at that point. Alrighty, that's it. Yeah, let's just recap this for a moment. So in a bit of a nutshell, really, we need that low there taken out. That's the 46 area there. I mean, if that's taken out. The other point here I want to say, just on the bullish side of things, let's just say that all of this 5 waves up here, because if that gets breached, that takes that being wave 1 and 2 and going upward there. If all of that is just wave 1 here, let's just assume for a moment that this is the low over here of wave 4 in our bullish count, right? And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Well, then the next step down would be coming back down to the 40 here. That would be the logical thing if that breaks there. I couldn't see any other way that we could count it. That's about it, I think. So anyway, you know, we've been watching the market sort of move up in this last leg, and we've counted it and we called the top in, and we're looking for it to roll over. We've never been bullish. We've never been bearish. The indications from what we've been looking at here make it a little bit bearish. Taking that 46,500 out would add another leg to the downside, which would bring the possibility down into this space here at that. And then even then, that's a guessing game to say that that's wave 1 and that's wave 2 there and we're going up there. Sure, it could be true, but I don't know that. You know, we would have to look at that structure at that particular time when that occurs. And the other thing that I can say to you is, you know, the speed, take that top to the wave 5 low here. It's all about the speed of this coming down here, you know, either a C wave over here or a third wave here. So a third wave here would take it, you know, if we have to look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here and going down for a third wave, well, you got to go down much lower. That's all. You know, when you compare the other corrections from yesteryear over here, let's just have a look at one of those for a moment. There's not much else to talk about here. I mean, that was the big one here, wasn't it, you know? It's like you know, if we are going to be bearish, just put this up there. So we've had that move down through here as wave 1 here, and then we've had an A and a B and a C wave back up here for wave 2 at the 50,000. So this is where we possibly could be here. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, I've been around for a while, and that's what I would be, you know, that's what would consider naturally. We've got 3 waves up. It's a different type of 3 waves than this one here, but still. So we're really just, you know, get rid of this thing. Yeah, we're just sort of in here for that. So we could get it quite deep in all of this, you know. We just don't know, do we? You know, and that's been the patterns, you know, out of the 13 corrections, they're all been sort of pretty humongous, you know, down. Sure, I know it's different this time, you know, I understand that, you know, that kind of talk. But yeah, let's see. I mean, there's some big fish that want to get into this market, and they get hold of, you know, they get in the futures market and they start pushing this around like they do with gold. You know, they know the value of this. They'll push it right down and squash people out and whatnot. So you'll have to be a little bit smarter. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Enough waffling on. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers. I'll give you updates over the weekend if things are happening.